Hi, I'm Al with Above and Beyond Creative Sewing in Nanuet, New York, and today I'm going to show you how to thread the Baby Lock Celebrate for a 3-thread overlock. Now the Baby Lock Celebrate is a full-featured serger by Baby Lock that includes air threading. So if you're using a serger at home that doesn't have air threading, that you're taking out your tweezers to thread all the little loops in the serger, you'd probably love to take a look at the Baby Lock Celebrate. It'll save you time and it's just so much less annoying and aggravating than a typical serger. So let's go ahead and get started with the Baby Lock Celebrate. So in the Baby Lock Celebrate Owner's Manual, in the very back, the last page as a matter of fact, it gives you a chart for stitch selection settings. So we're going to be doing a 3-thread overlock, which is right over here. And so we're going to do all these settings, which is really easy to follow. So let's start with stitch length. Our stitch length calls for between 2 and 3. So I'm going to put that right to 2.5 there. Our stitch width calls for 3.0. So I'm just going to roll this all the way down to 3.0. Since I'm not using a left needle, I'm only using a right needle, there is no left needle tension, so I don't have to worry about this dial. The right needle tension should be set to 4. The upper looper tension should be set to 4. And the lower looper tension, 3.5. Oops. And the lower looper tension should also be set to 3.5. So this handy chart tells you exactly what the tension should be set to. A lot of Baby Lock sergers have automatic tension. The Celebrate does not. But with that chart, you become the tensioner, and it's so easy to follow and set your machine up the right way. So let's go ahead and thread our machine. This opens right up, and I push this button right over here and turn the hand wheel until my air threading pipes engage, and they lock into place right in there. This is my upper and lower looper selector. So let's start with the upper looper. So I'm going to move it over to the left and we'll get the upper looper threaded. I take my upper looper thread, bring it straight down into my tension. Make sure that the presser foot is up so it gets into the tension properly. Go into that guide right there, just like that. And take the end of my thread and feed it right into the upper looper port and push down on the pump. What it'll do is it'll take up all the slack and then I'll pull down another length and push it again. And there is my upper looper all threaded and ready to go. Hopefully you can see it. I'm using white thread, but I assure you it is now threaded. So now let's do our lower looper. I'm going to select lower looper by moving that button over. Again, bring it down into my tension, just like so. Bring the thread into the port. Give the pump one pump to take up all the thread slack, and if it misses, just reposition it into there. Pull it straight down to get a little bit more slack, and voila, my lower looper is now tensioned. It's a pretty straightforward and pretty easy process. Once I'm done with that, I simply take this lever and move it over to the right to reopen my air threading pipes. So once that's done, I just have to thread my needle. Now, I'm only going to be using one needle, so with the Baby Lock Celebrate, it's got this wonderful little accessory tool bin here. I'm going to loosen this screw and take out my left needle, which fell right there. I'll get that out, put that to the side because I'm not going to be using that right now. Put that there and retighten my screw and close that up. So now we're only going to be using the right needle. I'm going to bring my thread down, making sure my presser foot is in the up position. Go into the guide here, come under here, and under here. And I'm going to come over and down and into my guide right here. Once I have that accomplished, I'm going to lower my presser foot, and there's a couple of ways to do the needle. In your parts bin here, you're going to find a set of tweezers. You don't use them often, but you do sometimes use them for the needle threading. I think it makes the needle threading a lot easier by simply grabbing the end of the thread and feeding it into the eye of the needle. And let's get that cut so it's a nice clean end. And this, I think, makes it an awful lot easier to thread your needle. You simply thread it through and pull it through with the tweezer. So if you're threading a needle without the tweezers, you have to find the eye of the needle, but the tweezers really steadies the thread for you and it makes it easier to thread. So that's pretty easy to do. We're all set, so I can go ahead and close both my doors. Take my fabric, fold it over, and I'm going to stitch right along this edge right over here. Lower my presser foot, and we are ready. And look how easy it is, and how beautiful the stitches are. It's wonderful how I can go from not being threaded to being threaded within a matter of just minutes. I'm not spending all that time trying to get the thread into all the little ports and everything. It just makes it so much easier. That's the Baby Lock Celebrate. We have a really special price on this machine, so if you're interested in a new serger, or if you just want to explore the possibility of making your life a little bit easier with a Baby Lock air threading serger, come on in and check out the Celebrate. And right now we have a special promotion while supplies last. We're including a premium serger toolkit, which includes your fabric control tool, your seam ripper, 2 of the double eye needles, and a beautiful set of 3.5-inch double curved scissors. This is a $40 value, and it's being included with any of the Baby Lock sergers that have the air threading system here at the store. So if you like what you saw and you want to learn more, please give us a call. If you have any questions and you're not sure how to use your serger, don't hesitate to call us. That's what we're here for. We're here to help. Again, my name is Al, and we're Above and Beyond Creative Sewing, and thank you so much for joining me.